Fallout Boy, what, in my opinion, are the best warbands? Well, it's not my opinion anymore because they've basically been figured out. So, best warbands in Warcry is kind of a bit. It's a bit of a misnomer, right? It's a bit of a misnomer because it's not about having the best warbands. It's about having. It's about what the best archetypes are and how you build your warband towards those archetypes. And there are a few different archetypes that happen to be very good, and there's at least one that happens to be not very good. So, for example, very large swarms is an archetype, and there are a few warbands that do that very well, like Tarantulas Brutes or like Gravelords, all these guys. They do that very well. And if you play towards that archetype and build towards that archetype with your warband, you will generally have a good time. The only thing that doesn't really work is kind of this middling, mid-range style build where it's just a bunch of medium dudes. That's kind of why Askigan True Blades don't really work out, because it's just really a bunch of medium dudes, and any of the common powerful archetypes in the game kind of run them over. Another popular archetype is, we heard people talk about before, right? Tools and smalls. Yeah. So big guys and little guys. The big guys do the smashing, little guys do legwork. If you think about the warbands that can do that very well, we're talking about ogres. They can do that very, very well because their tools are the tallest. They have gut lords. Gut lords are great. Ogres in general are pretty good. So ogres do that very well. Recently, iron golems have like come back in a big way, and iron golems are like making a splash again. The reason being is that they have ogres themselves, right? They got the ogre breacher, and it's much cheaper than most other equivalents, and they can kind of do that tools and smalls build, and they can do it effectively. So yeah, just look out for those different archetypes, and I talk about them. Where do I talk about them? I'm pretty sure I've done a list about them. I'm pretty sure I've done a video about it. I've done like videos on blooming everything now. But it was Dan. Dan Salty Sea did a very good video talking about the meta and what kind of warbands are very good and why they're very good. Shooting, for example, is another good archetype, but only if your shooters aren't good enough for it, right? It's just like spamming out Wild Corp Hunter with twin crossbows, for example. So yeah, build towards that, and generally you will be fine, even if you're not the best warband, like in terms of fighter quality and fighter efficiency. As long as you build smart and you make sure that your warband is built to do a thing and to do it at least reasonably well. I mean, Dan basically said that I managed to win Warhammer World with like the 7th best swarm warband, which is probably true. But the idea was you built Tarantulas Brood to take advantage of what they do best, which is swarming the board with spiders, and they also fit into that extremely large archetype range, right? So that's what you do. You build your warband smart, and you'll be able to do it. But yeah, so that's it really. You want to build towards the archetypes, and there are some warbands that can do that better than others, unfortunately, and it just is how it is. But that's how it is in any Games Workshop game, right? There's always going to be something that's at the top,